Hey, you ever feel like you're being watched? Not just a passing glance, but a deep, unsettling feeling that someone or something is just there. It's a feeling I've come to know all too well. This happened a few years ago when I was living alone in one of those old, creaky apartment buildings on the edge of town. You know the type, where the floors groan with every step and the wind whistles through the window frames like a lost soul. My apartment was on the top floor, the attic conversion. It was cheap, and I loved the slanted ceilings and the single, large circular window that overlooked the city. For the first few months, everything was perfect. It was my own little sanctuary. Then, things started to change. It started small. A misplaced set of keys. A book I swore I left on the nightstand, found on the kitchen counter. I brushed it off as me being forgetful, stressed from work. But then came the nights. I'd wake up suddenly, in the dead of night, with this overwhelming sense of dread. The air in the room would feel heavy, cold, and I'd hear it. A sound, a soft, rhythmic tap, 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 coming from the other side of my bedroom wall. At first, I thought it was the plumbing, or my neighbor, but the tapping was too deliberate, too patient. I'd press my ear against the cold plaster, and it would stop. The moment I pulled away, it would start again. Tap, tap, tap. One night, the tapping was louder, more insistent. I was paralyzed in my bed, sheets pulled up to my chin. My heart was a drum against my ribs. I stared at the wall, my eyes straining in the darkness, when I saw it, a shadow. A long, thin shadow detaching itself from the deeper shadows in the corner of the room. It wasn't a trick of the light. It moved. It slithered up the wall, a fluid silhouette of a man, but wrong. The limbs were too long, the joints bending at impossible angles. It had no features, just a smooth, dark void where a face should be. I couldn't scream. The air was stolen from my lungs. The shadow thing crawled across the ceiling, its movements silent and unnatural. It stopped directly above my bed. I could feel a coldness radiating down from it, a cold that seeped into my bones. And then, a drop of something wet and cold hit my forehead. I didn't dare wipe it away. Another drop hit my cheek. The tapping sound started again, but this time, it wasn't coming from the wall. It was coming from above me. Tap. Tap. It was the sound of its long, spindly fingers drumming on the ceiling, right over my head. I don't know how long I lay there, trapped under its gaze. It felt like an eternity. Slowly, agonizingly, it began to lower a hand. A silhouette of a hand with fingers like sharpened twigs, reaching down, down towards my face. I finally found my voice, and let out a choked, pathetic whimper. And in that instant, it recoiled. It shot back across the ceiling and poured itself back into the corner, disappearing into the shadows it came from. The next morning, I packed a single bag and left. I didn't tell the landlord. I didn't get my deposit back. I just ran. I never went back to that apartment. But the story doesn't end there. A few weeks ago, I was talking to a friend who happens to work for the city's historical society. I casually mentioned the address of my old building. His face went pale. He told me the building was notorious. Decades ago, the attic apartment, my apartment, was occupied by a reclusive artist. A man who became obsessed with capturing what he called the shape of fear. He was found in that room, having taken his own life. The police report noted that the walls and ceiling were covered in strange, dark stains, and his final painting was just a canvas, painted completely black, with a single, terrified eye staring out from the center. Now, sometimes, late at night, when I'm about to fall asleep, I hear it, faintly in the distance. That familiar, patient sound. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Love you 3000.